And Alperen from Istanbul. Yeah, he's from our team as well. So there is this question from Alperen. He says, "What do you think about the development frameworks?" You know, in the very beginning of our webinars, I mean, the first session was about agile development, and our mentor Yas talked about Scrum framework and some methodologies. So
Mhm.
so so really, what do you think about those frameworks? They are generally accepted. I mean, almost any startup, any development team follows those frameworks. And is there any best practice? Is there any best framework? I mean, the most popular is probably the Scrum. I mean, we hear it a lot in our daily lives even. So, is there any other framework you could mention, or what do you tell in general?
Good question. So it used to be in software development, there used to be the waterfall model where you would, at every stage, you would do everything. Like as you would think of everything, you would write it down, all the cases, use cases, you would draw all these use case diagrams, and then move on to the next stage. And at the end, it will be launched. And still, when it's launched, there will be a lot of problems. So as an alternative to this, they came up with agile development frameworks, which would be what kind of development? Software development, I guess. Sorry. So then they came up with these agile frameworks where you would actually, it's quite suitable for startups because you develop something and then you deliver it to customers and then get feedback, fix bugs, fix your bugs, and do further development. I think Scrum is one of the most popular ones, and I think it's a very good one. But yeah, as long as you do agile and you have the lean startup mentality, I think you'll be fine using Scrum or anything else that you come up with, any of the recent ones. It's just very important to not to fall into the trap of building the awesome, amazing product, I would say.
So, how many software developers do you have in that startup that you are working at right now?
I think it's 8 of them. Yeah.
So yeah. So are they using Scrum framework?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's
So
widely used. It's very, yeah. Yes, I think, yeah, again, to mention, the most important thing about product development in startups is it's not much about engineering. It's more about focusing also on customers. It's about building what customers want rather than building the awesome product in a most efficient way. And try to keep it simple. That would be the advice I give to any developer or any tech co-founder. I'm gonna give an example from an experience. I won a competition in Birmingham, and they were like the finalists pitching their startups. There were a lot of developers because you needed your startup to be at a certain stage to apply. You would need a prototype. So we went there, and they had two guys. They were both developers, and they've been working on their startup for 1.5 years, and they've had the entire product. It was an edtech competition. They were doing mind mapping sort of maps for mathematics. So they would map all the mathematical formulas and terms, and it was quite nice actually. But their website was horrible. Like it was so hard to understand. Once they showed me, I was like, "But where do I sign in? Or where? Like, what does it do? I don't see it." Like, there was a big screen and there was just a picture. There was no value proposition. I was like, "What does it do?" And they were like, "Oh, we didn't think of this. Like, we thought people coming to the website would actually know the product, and they would sign. It's so easy to find how to sign in." We're like, "I cannot find how to sign in," and they needed to change quite a lot. And there were a lot of other, like, there was also a hackathon nearby, so we also chat with them, and there were a lot of people developing amazing products, like technically amazing, and they had no business case in their mind. Once we approached two of them, they were building a library management system where it would show the empty places in the library. So if I'm working here, when I leave in 30 seconds, it will show this place is empty with cameras. Sorry, not cameras, actually, sensors. And it's amazing. It's very nice. I was like, we could actually talk to UCL and you could maybe sell them. They were not very interested. It was so interesting for me. If somebody comes up to me and says, I love your product, let's sell it to UCL. I'll be like, yes, let's go to London, sell it to UCL. And they were not very interested, but they didn't think it would be a business. It was just a software project for them. So I think for tech co-founders, it's quite important not to fall into this trap. The other side is like at least as important as product. For non-tech co-founders, again, you need to think of your customers quite a lot. You need to think of what problem you're solving. And then you need to, if your solution requires a lot of technical capability, you need a tech co-founder. If it doesn't, just go with it. Go with it yourself and then find one or employ someone or get it outsourced. But just, there's a famous quote, no battle plan ever survives the first contact. You can plan everything, but it will not work. Like you have to go out there and talk to customers.
So I think we covered a few major points about product development and the problems, either mindset or team or some technical issues. So yeah, I mean, mostly there is no standard answers to all questions. There is no typical solution to all problems. And I mean, most of the founders, they have their failure stories, they have their success stories, and you made them clear as well. So let's have the final verse. And if Jesse and Chad, sorry about the other guys. So if you guys have any questions, please shoot them. If you don't have, it's no problem. You can reach out to us anytime, to Ulas, to myself, to Innocence team. So you're more than welcome. Yeah, Ulas, sorry about the inconvenience again. So please have your final words, and so let people know how they can reach out to you and for what they can reach out to you. And yeah, yes. There you go.
So to summarize, you need 50% business, 50% product in anything. I mean, not like the ratios change because if it's very technical, of course you need to focus on your product, and you need a tech co-founder if you're a non-tech co-founder. But if it's not a very technical solution, you need to really focus on the business and just put something basic out there until you have good customers that that actually pushes you to build the actual product, which would make everything easier for you. Then yeah, at that point, hire an employee or find a technical co-founder, build the product. But if you, again, this is the bottom line. If you have a technical business, do it with a technical co-founder. If you have a less technical business, or just have a prototype, just put it out there, reach to people, and get their feedback, see if they're interested, and then move on from there. Team, it has to be, again, these considerations. Someone focuses on business. Don't make it too crowded. Don't make it 5 people. It will be quite hard to decide on anything with 5 people. Make it 2 or 3. And yeah, again, another thing, I have to remind this a lot of times, don't try to make an awesome product. Make it minimum and viable. It's fine. Once you have a lot of customers, you will make it anyways. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please shoot them. If you have any questions later on, please reach out to me via Innocence. I'll be happy to help. It's like in any way I can about your startups. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Ulas. I think we will have some other conversations, and you have your experience with London ecosystem, Berlin, Germany startup ecosystem. So we will have those conversations as well. So please shoot your questions, guys, if you have any through chat window, or as Ulash mentioned, you can just reach out to us probably on LinkedIn through our Innocence website. So we are there, we are out there, so you can easily reach out to us anytime. So I think that's all. I think we have no question at the moment. And once again, thank you so much, Ulash, for your time and for your fun conversation.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for joining. See you on other webinars.